Imagine owning an NHL team without spending a dime. It sounds like a wild fantasy, right? Well, buckle up because today we're diving into the jaw-dropping tale of John Spano, the man who did just that. Spano's audacious journey from obscurity to the owner's box at the New York Islanders is a story of deception, bold moves, and the ultimate downfall. Get ready to explore how one man's ambition led him to attempt the impossible, buying a professional sports team with no money. John Spano grew up in Ohio, the son of a successful businessman. From a young age, Spano was surrounded by the trappings of wealth and success. His father, who ran a thriving business, instilled in him a love for the good life. Spano enjoyed the privileges that came with his family's affluence, and he developed a taste for luxury. However, Spano's own business ventures were less than spectacular. He tried his hand at several different enterprises, but none of them took off. Despite these setbacks, Spano managed to create an image of a wealthy, successful businessman. He knew how to play the part, hobnobbing with influential figures and making his presence felt in the business world. His charm and persuasive skills masked his financial instability. Spano owned a company called Bison Group, which was in the leasing business. However, his true skill lay in convincing others of his non-existent wealth, setting the stage for his most audacious plan yet. In his early years, Spano was known for his charismatic personality and his ability to make connections. He had a way of ingratiating himself with the right people, gaining their trust, and leveraging these relationships to further his image of success. Despite his outward appearance of prosperity, those close to him knew that his business dealings were often precarious and that his financial situation was far from stable. In the mid-90s, the New York Islanders were struggling, both on the ice and financially. The team's owner, wanting to cut his losses, put the franchise up for sale. This presented the perfect opportunity for Spano. Seeing the Islanders as his ticket to legitimacy and fortune, Spano set his sights on buying the team. He positioned himself as a savior for the franchise, a billionaire with the means to restore the Islanders to their former glory. His charm and promises were convincing enough to make him the leading candidate. Spano saw the Islanders not just as a business venture, but as a way to cement his place in the upper echelons of society. Owning an NHL team would provide him with the prestige and influence he craved. He began to weave an intricate web of lies about his financial status, convincing everyone around him that he was a billionaire with the resources to turn the Islanders around. Spano's charm and persuasive abilities were on full display as he courted the Islanders' ownership and the NHL. He presented himself as a passionate hockey fan who was deeply committed to the team's success. He promised to invest heavily in the team, improving facilities and bringing in top talent. His vision for the Islanders was compelling, and he quickly gained the support of key stakeholders. Negotiations for the purchase of the Islanders began in earnest. Spano claimed to have a net worth of $230 million and offered $165 million for the team. His proposal included paying $80 million up front and the rest over time. Despite his lack of liquid assets, Spano's confidence and the allure of his supposed wealth persuaded the team's current owner and the NHL to proceed. Due diligence was lax, and the deal was set in motion. Spano even managed to secure a loan from Fleet Bank based on his fabricated net worth. The deal was a complex one, involving multiple parties and various financial arrangements. Spano's ability to navigate these negotiations, despite his lack of actual funds, was a testament to his persuasive skills and his talent for deception. He created a facade of wealth that fooled even the most experienced businessmen and financial experts. Spano's financial maneuvering during the negotiations was intricate and involved a combination of outright lies and sophisticated forgeries. He produced fake financial statements and bank records to convince the Islanders' ownership and the NHL that he had the resources to complete the purchase. His confidence and attention to detail were key in maintaining the illusion of wealth. Spano's deceit extended beyond the boardroom. He mingled with players, staff, and fans, portraying himself as the team's enthusiastic new owner. He made grand promises about investing in the team, the facilities, and the community. Behind the scenes, however, Spano was scrambling. He made partial payments and concocted elaborate stories to buy time. His web of lies included forged documents, fake wire transfers, and misleading conversations with bankers. Spano's ability to maintain this charade for as long as he did was nothing short of remarkable. He juggled multiple lies, keeping different parties in the dark about the true state of his finances. His charm and confidence allowed him to continue this deception, even as cracks began to appear in his story. The elaborate nature of Spano's deceit extended to his interactions with the Islanders organization. He attended games, mingled with players and coaches, and made public appearances as the team's new owner. He promised significant investments in player development and facilities, creating an atmosphere of optimism and excitement around the team. Spano's charismatic presence and seemingly genuine enthusiasm helped to solidify his image as a dedicated and wealthy owner. As the months went by, Spano's financial gymnastics began to falter. His inability to make the agreed payments raised suspicion. Fleet Bank, which had provided him with a loan, started to scrutinize his finances more closely. The NHL, too, began to question Spano's credibility. In an attempt to salvage the situation, Spano continued to fabricate stories, promising that the money was on its way. He even managed to make some partial payments, further muddying the waters and delaying the inevitable. The scrutiny from Fleet Bank and the NHL intensified as more inconsistencies in Spano's financial statements came to light. Investigators began to dig deeper into his background, uncovering the extent of his fabrications. The walls were closing in on Spano, and it was only a matter of time before his entire scheme unraveled. Spano's desperate attempts to keep the facade intact included increasingly elaborate lies and forged documents. He continued to promise that the money was forthcoming, blaming delays on various external factors. His ability to maintain the illusion of wealth for as long as he did was a testament to his skills as a con artist, but the mounting pressure was beginning to take its toll. Eventually, the facade crumbled. Investigations by Fleet Bank and the NHL revealed the extent of Spano's deception. The money was never coming. The financial documents were forged, and Spano's supposed wealth was nothing more than smoke and mirrors. The scandal broke publicly, shocking the sports world. Spano was arrested and charged with bank fraud, wire fraud, and forgery. In 2000, he was sentenced to 6 years in federal prison, marking the dramatic end of his attempt to buy an NHL team with no money. The public reaction to Spano's downfall was one of shock and disbelief. Many couldn't fathom how he had managed to deceive so many for so long. The media coverage was extensive, detailing every aspect of Spano's fraudulent activities and the impact on the Islanders and the NHL. The legal proceedings against Spano were a significant event, drawing widespread media attention. The trial exposed the full extent of Spano's fraudulent activities and the lengths he went to in order to maintain his deception. The courtroom drama was followed closely by the public, who were eager to see justice served. John Spano's saga serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of due diligence and the dangers of unchecked ambition. His ability to deceive so many for so long highlights the vulnerabilities in systems designed to protect against fraud. The NHL and other major leagues tightened their vetting processes for prospective owners, ensuring more rigorous financial scrutiny. Spano's story also underscores the impact of charisma and persuasion in business dealings, sometimes to the detriment of factual verification. The lessons learned from Spano's deception had far-reaching implications for the sports industry. Teams and leagues implemented stricter protocols for vetting potential buyers, aiming to prevent a similar situation from occurring in the future. Financial institutions also became more cautious, enhancing their verification processes to detect fraudulent claims more effectively. The changes implemented in the aftermath of the Spano scandal aimed to protect the integrity of professional sports leagues. The increased scrutiny and due diligence helped to ensure that only financially stable and reputable individuals could become team owners. The sports industry recognized the need for transparency and accountability to prevent similar fraudulent activities in the future. After serving his prison sentence, Spano attempted to rebuild his life. He stayed out of the spotlight, a stark contrast to his former high-profile persona. His story became a case study in fraud and deception, a testament to the lengths one man went to chase his dreams without the means to support them. Spano's life post-scandal was marked by a desire to stay under the radar. He avoided the media and public attention, focusing instead on rebuilding his personal and professional life. His story continued to serve as a reminder of the consequences of unchecked ambition and the importance of integrity in business dealings. Despite his attempts to stay out of the public eye, Spano's story remained a subject of interest. He was occasionally approached for interviews and documentaries, as people were fascinated by the details of his audacious scheme. Spano's tale became a part of sports folklore, serving as a cautionary tale for future generations. To understand how Spano pulled off his audacious scheme, it's essential to delve into the details of his deception. Spano's plan relied heavily on creating an illusion of wealth and success. He forged documents, fabricated bank statements, and lied about his financial status to convince everyone around him that he was a billionaire. Spano's ability to manipulate those around him was rooted in his understanding of human psychology. He knew how to present himself in a way that exuded confidence and competence. This, combined with his ability to forge convincing documents, allowed him to deceive even the most experienced professionals. The fallout from Spano's deception had a significant impact on the New York Islanders. The team, already struggling financially, faced additional turmoil as the scandal unfolded. The trust of fans, players, and staff was shaken, and the franchise had to work hard to rebuild its reputation. The Islanders' financial instability was exacerbated by the uncertainty surrounding the ownership situation. The team's future was thrown into doubt, and the focus shifted from on-ice performance to resolving the off-ice issues. The players and staff had to navigate this turbulent period, unsure of what the future held for the franchise. The media played a crucial role in bringing Spano's deception to light. Once the story broke, it became a media sensation, with journalists uncovering more details about Spano's fraudulent activities. The coverage was extensive, with headlines dominating sports news for months. The media scrutiny added another layer of pressure on Spano, as every detail of his scheme was exposed to the public. Journalists dug into his background, interviewing those who had been deceived and uncovering the extent of his lies. The story captivated the public, who were fascinated by the audacity of Spano's plan and the scale of his deception. Spano's legal battle was lengthy and complex. He faced multiple charges, including bank fraud, wire fraud, and forgery. The evidence against him was overwhelming, and his defense struggled to counter the prosecution's case. The trial was closely followed by the media, with daily updates on the proceedings. The public watched as Spano's web of lies was systematically dismantled in court. The verdict was inevitable, and Spano was sentenced to 6 years in federal prison, bringing an end to his audacious attempt to buy an NHL team with no money. Spano's story is a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition. His desire to own an NHL team led him down a path of deception and fraud. His ambition blinded him to the consequences of his actions, ultimately leading to his downfall. Ambition, when not tempered by integrity and honesty, can lead to disastrous outcomes. Spano's story serves as a cautionary tale for those who may be tempted to cut corners or deceive others in the pursuit of their goals. The consequences of such actions can be severe, as Spano's story vividly illustrates. The NHL was forced to reevaluate its processes and protocols in the wake of the Spano scandal. The league implemented stricter vetting procedures for potential owners, ensuring that a thorough financial background check was conducted before any sale was approved. The scandal also prompted other sports leagues to review their own procedures. The lessons learned from Spano's deception had a ripple effect across the sports industry, leading to more robust checks and balances to prevent similar incidents in the future. While John Spano's attempt to buy the New York Islanders ended in failure and disgrace, his story has left a lasting legacy. His audacity and ability to deceive so many for so long have made his tale one of the most remarkable in sports history. Spano's story continues to be a topic of discussion and analysis. It serves as a case study in fraud and deception, providing valuable lessons for those in the sports industry and beyond. His legacy is a reminder of the importance of integrity and the dangers of unchecked ambition. The public reaction to Spano's scandal was one of shock and fascination. Many people were amazed at how he managed to deceive so many for so long. The story captivated the public's imagination, leading to extensive media coverage and discussions about the implications of his actions. Fans of the New York Islanders were particularly affected, feeling betrayed by the man who had promised to save their team. The scandal left a lasting impact on the fan base, who had to come to terms with the reality of Spano's deception and the challenges it created for their beloved team. Understanding the psychology behind Spano's deception can provide insights into how he managed to pull off such an audacious scheme. Spano was a master manipulator, using his charm and confidence to create an image of wealth and success that was entirely fabricated. Spano's ability to deceive others was rooted in his understanding of human behavior. He knew how to exploit people's desires and expectations, presenting himself in a way that aligned with their preconceived notions of what a successful businessman should look like. This psychological insight allowed him to maintain his charade for as long as he did. Spano's story offers valuable lessons for the business world. It highlights the importance of thorough due diligence and the need for robust verification processes. Businesses must be vigilant in verifying the claims of potential partners and investors, ensuring that they do not fall victim to similar deceptions. The story also underscores the importance of integrity and honesty in business dealings. Spano's ambition led him to cut corners and deceive others, ultimately resulting in his downfall. His story serves as a cautionary tale for those who may be tempted to engage in unethical behavior in the pursuit of their goals. And that's the incredible story of John Spano, the man who almost bought an NHL team with no money. If you enjoyed this tale of ambition and deception, hit that like button. For more unbelievable stories of audacious schemes and the people behind them, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. And if you know someone who loves a good underdog story with a twist, share this video with them. You might just blow their mind.